Welcome to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. The summer season is upon us, and with that comes increased boat traffic on Lake Erie and the Cuyahoga River. Local, state, and federal partners recently came together to offer safety tips to those who will be enjoying their watercrafts this summer.
One step that the city, along with the U.S. Coast Guard and the Port of Cleveland, has taken to encourage safety is to mark the U.S. Coast Guard safety zones. By accurately marking the safety zones up and down the river, we can outline areas boaters should refrain from mooring in for their safety.
Lieutenant Commander Michael Doherty of the United States Coast Guard wants boaters to use common sense and be prepared before they take their boat out on Lake Erie.
First and foremost, simply have a personal flotation device, a PFD, a life jacket. You should know where it is on board your boat. There has to be one for each person that's on board, and they has to be of the right size, which particularly highlights children's life jackets. There needs to be a life jacket that works for each member on board. You should know where it is. You should try it on.
As for the river, Glenn Neckvisill of the Lake Carriers Association wants to remind you of the freighters that use the Cuyahoga.
We kind of boil it down to what's called the big boat rule. The bigger boat always has the right of way, and it's not something because freighters are superior anyway. It's just a simple fact. The larger boat is the less maneuverable. So the bigger boat always has the way. If we all remember that, if we all make good seamanship and safety our primary commitment, we're going to have a safe summer on the river, folks are going to have fun, and we're going to deliver a lot of cargo.
The U.S. Coast Guard, along with the Cleveland Division of Police, also wants to remind you to not operate your boat while you're under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Well, after taking a 7-week course, some Cleveland residents now have a better understanding of Cleveland's police force and what it takes to be a cop. 22 men and women graduated from the Citizens Police Academy in the council chambers of Cleveland City Hall. Safety Director Michael McGrath congratulated the graduates and hoped they learned something about the police.
I'm sure that all of you today have a greater appreciation for the men and women in the Cleveland Division of Police and the sacrifices and commitment they make for their community than you did prior to attending the academy 8 years ago. The importance and strength of the Citizens Police Academy can be summed up in 2 words: commitment and partnership.
Police Chief Calvin Williams spoke to the crowd on the importance of having a strong connection between the police and the community.
We don't do this in a vacuum. We don't ever do it alone. And the only way we're successful is to make sure that we partner with people in our community and to make sure that you understand the things that officers go through day in and day out, and that we do everything possible to make that connection with our community, with our officers, to make us all a lot safer.
After the speeches and remarks, each person was called up to receive their certificate of completion and to pose for a photo. Afterwards, graduate Larry Morley read a poem titled Tears of a Cop.
I have been where you fear to go. I have seen what you fear to see. I have done what you fear to do. All these things I've done for you. I am the one you lean upon, the one you cast your scorn upon, the one you bring your troubles to. All these people I've been for you. The one you ask to stand apart, the one you feel should have no heart, the one you call the man in blue, but I am human just like you. Through the years I've come to see that I am not what you ask of me. So take this badge and take this gun. Will you take it? Will anyone? And when you watch a person die and hear a battered baby cry, then do you think that you can be all these things that you ask of me?
In a ceremony held in the Red Room of Cleveland City Hall, Rhonda Curtis was sworn in by Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson as Chief Corporate Counsel for Cleveland's Law Department.
That I will honestly.
And I will honestly.
Impartially.
And impartially.
And faithfully.
And faithfully.
Discharge the duties of.
Discharge the duties of.
Chief Corporate Counsel.
Chief Corporate Counsel.
State of Ohio.
Of the State of Ohio.
During my continuance in said office.
During my continuance in said office.
Congratulations.
In her speech, Curtis thanked her family, friends, and colleagues for their support.
I want to thank my family for being here. Getting emotional. My daughters, my mother, my sister-in-law, who, I can always count on their support. And again, I want to thank the Mayor and Director Lang Henry for placing your trust in me. I look forward to the challenges that this new role will bring, and I will work hard to fulfill the responsibilities of the office.
Lago in the East Bank of the Flats was the host site for the 5th annual Greater Cleveland Trails and Greenways Conference. The City of Cleveland's Chief of Sustainability, Matt Gray, and event co-chair Derek Schaefer talked to us about the conference and the growth in the process.
We've made amazing progress in this community, Cleveland and all of Northeast Ohio, on trails. I mean, just in Cleveland alone, we've done 70 miles over the last 4 years. So we're here today with all these great people behind me to really think through what's next on trails and greenways.
And this year's focus is really that urban riverfront revitalization and connectivity to that resource, and really drawing people back down to the river, getting rid of that stigma that you can't access it. And this doesn't just draw on trails and greenways that go through parks and neighborhoods, but it's also the water trails and the inter-community connectivity. So this conference aims to pull together stakeholders, advocates, public entities, municipalities, consultants, bike and trail advocates from across Northeast Ohio. It's also an opportunity to showcase projects that have been put on the ground or pop-up projects or programs implemented throughout Northeast Ohio.
So we have things like the Midway project on Superior, bike lanes down the middle of the street, which is going to be pretty amazing. We have our Lorraine cycle track. We have East 93rd 105. We have Opportunity Corridor. So there's a lot in Cleveland, but also through the whole region. We have the Towpath Trail, so people are very familiar with. It's nearing completion. And there's many, many other trail projects throughout the region that we're all here to celebrate and then build on.
Not only do Trails and Greenways create that transportation choice network, but they connect you to places, to connect you to public nodes of activity or commercial hubs or historic districts. Trails and Greenways also connect people to people. That's one thing that we cannot forget, that when you have an alternative transportation network, it's not just recreation and access to various green spaces or parks or other places, but it's also connecting people to neighborhoods, people to schools, and people to people.
Connecting citizens and creating our green city on a blue lake has been the ultimate mission.
Through the Sustainable Cleveland 2019 initiative, which is the mayor's 10-year initiative to really create this green city on a blue lake in Cleveland, the whole focus, right, is quality of life. It's around economic development. It's around equity. And the beautiful thing about Trails and Greenways is it's such a crucial piece of that vision. Trails improve quality of life. They improve people's health. It gives them access to the outdoors. It connects us. So it really is critical to all the work of the sustainability department that I'm in and the work of the mayor. So we're just happy to be here and hopefully make some progress today.
For more information on the Greater Cleveland Trails and Greenways Conference, visit their website at gctrails.org. A dedication was held for the brand new Nord Family Greenway. The project was a partnership between Case Western Reserve University, the Cleveland Museum of Art, Cleveland Foundation, and the City of Cleveland.
We've been working on this for several years, and it's finally done, and we are so excited because this is a beautiful civic space, about 6 football fields long. It has places for recreation, for sitting and reading, for walking, for enjoying the outdoors, for outdoor art installations. We are so proud of it and so proud of our partners, and so grateful to the city, the Art Museum, to the Cleveland Foundation, and all of our generous donors.
You'll have me walking here about probably twice a day, because I walk through the campus twice a day for exercise. So you'll see a lot of people hitting the steps and walking, and it's a good atmosphere. The culture is cool also. And so we're very, very excited. This will be one of the jewels, and it will be a gathering place for the community.
For more information, visit case.edu. Well, as you know, our city has a rich history, and we want to test your knowledge. Our trivia question for this week: how many gardens are currently established at the Cleveland Cultural Gardens? Is it A, 30, B, 40, or C, 50? We'll have the answer when we return.
Hi, I'm Mayor Frank Jackson. You've probably seen media coverage of the growing opioid epidemic in northeastern Ohio. But what you might not know is how many of these tragedies begin with a seemingly innocent prescription for pain medication. That is why we're teaming with the Cuyahoga County Opiate Marketing Task Force to encourage you to know the risk. Go to the website on your screen to learn which pills are opiates and alternative ways of dealing with pain. Which starts as a prescription can end with addiction, so know the risk.
Welcome back to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. Our trivia question for this week: how many gardens are currently established at the Cleveland Cultural Gardens? Is it A, 30, B, 40, or C, 50? The answer is A. There is currently 30 gardens with 8 more in development. For more information, visit clevelandculturalgardens.org. It's no secret that the residents of Cleveland's Larchmere neighborhood love a good party, and they proved it again with their annual community celebration. The event was called Rock the Blocks, and it was a chance for people to reconnect with other neighbors and local vendors while enjoying great food and music. Ward 6 Councilman Blaine Griffin says this festival helps the kids in the long run.
Rock the Blocks is a great event chaired by Kim Thomas, and it's an organization that really tries to raise money for youth and young people. As you know, young people are essential to the growth of this city. We need jobs, we need other activities we need to do in the summer for the youth. So this is not just about coming and celebrating for today. This is how do we gain momentum to try to deal with youth and young people for the rest of the summer.
Mayor Frank Jackson attended the festival and had nothing but praise for Larchmere and its residents.
Every neighborhood has its great assets, and Cleveland has many great neighborhoods, and Larchmere is one of those neighborhoods. And as you can see, there's a lot of activity here. There are a lot of storefronts. There are a lot of people who live here. There's a lot of participation in Larchmere and promoting Larchmere as a community.
The good vibes were amplified at Larchmere's Rock the Blocks party thanks to an energetic drumming session and some of the best line dancing you'll see anywhere. The highlight of the day was the parade, and it made its way through the center of the neighborhood, entertaining both young and old with music and excitement. Looking at the faces of those in the crowd, it's easy to see that people love Larchmere. Just ask Nancy Hallbrooks and April Smart.
It's one of the most integrated, balanced, mixed communities in Cleveland. I think it's very diverse, and it's a wonderful community for arts and music and art antiques.
Oh, I have lots of fun. I always stop in the shops and always pick up unique items. Sometimes I pick up my postage over here from UPS. I eat over here a lot of times at Big Al's and the other restaurants up and down the street. I love Larchmere.
For information on all things Larchmere, including their upcoming Porch Fest on June 16th, visit larchmere.com. Well, to close out Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, a celebration was held at the City Hall Rotunda. District Rep Manager for the City of Cleveland's Community Relations Board, Theasia Danley, spoke on behalf of Mayor Frank Jackson and Director Grady Stevenson.
Our nation has benefited from contributions from Asian Americans for decades. As we celebrate Asian American Heritage Month today, we recognize the achievements. You are part of the lifeblood of this nation and contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders that enrich our nation.
She then presented a proclamation to Peter Pike, who was the evening's keynote speaker. The Community Relations Board Asian Liaison and Event Coordinator, Chai-Min Chen, said it's more than just honoring Asian culture.
Tonight, we honored our local teachers from the Asian communities, and we had well over 100 people. And it's just wonderful to have not only teachers, but we actually had students who came and performed for us. I personally am always grateful for the support of the staff at City Hall. Just it's wonderful to have them always support me and come out to my event so they get to meet truly our community, our diverse community, the people that's really out in our neighborhood. So this is a great chance people get to meet, have dinner together, and talk, and be able to meet each other face to face.
Thousands of people from the LGBT community, their family, friends, and supportive businesses and organizations came together to parade the streets of Cleveland, marching to Public Square for the annual Pride in CLE. Local leaders showed their support and expressed how they will continue to defend gay rights and equality.
This is something that is part of Cleveland and shows the personality and the character of Cleveland. But we cannot do that just on the administrative side. We have a lot of work to do, and we work in partnership with our council. So I want to introduce to you the council president, Kevin Kelly.
I am very proud to be standing here, and when I look at this crowd, what a difference a decade makes. For those of you that have been at this for a while, thank God we're beyond Defensive Marriage Act stunts. Thank God we're beyond those days. But we cannot take the progress that we've made for granted. We need to always look at the gains that have been made and know that we have to preserve them. If you look at what's happening in Washington right now, we know how quickly we can roll the clock back, and we cannot allow that to happen. So with that, I just want to send a very simple message to you. You have friends in Cleveland City Hall. You have friends in the mayor, you have friends in the council, and we will not stand for any rollback of the rights of the LGBT community.
Every single piece of progress that we have made can be turned back. So every single person here, know who you're voting for, get out to vote, and make sure that everyone that you're voting for supports LGBTQ plus rights and issues throughout the community.
It was an exciting day for all, but especially newcomers who didn't know what to expect, but were enthusiastic about the experience.
Well, this is both of our first prides, and I identify as straight, but I have so many friends who are within the community, and they have so much love for everyone. And I am a firm believer that love is the key of everything, and we should help everyone and promote everyone and love everyone no matter who they are or who they love, because why hate love when it can conquer everything?
And I feel like everyone should be able to express themselves, and I feel like events like this are very important to the LGBTQ community. And so I just love being around so many like beautiful souls and just getting to hear their stories, and just being able to have people, like, I just support love, and I support people who are able to love who they are because they can't help that, and I feel like they should be able to do so without the hate.
And there's so many people who feel like they have to hide themselves and what they believe and who they love, and that shouldn't be a thing.
To get involved or to learn more about this and other upcoming LGBT events, visit lgbtcleveland.org. Former CMSD students gave a sweet and emotional surprise to one of their mentors. Here's CMSD reporter Shannon Kantner with more.
A special birthday surprise that left a CMSD principal speechless. Watch the emotional moment when former students surprised their old music teacher in front of his whole school. And hear why these CMSD graduates say their teacher is still having an impact on their lives nearly a decade after they were in his class.
I still am speechless. People dream of this in our job because everyone wants to be appreciated, but nothing like this has ever happened before. When I heard the music, I was like, who's playing that and who's here? I'm still a little bit overwhelmed and shocked. I can't really tell you how else I feel. These are my kids. They still care about me and I still care about them. We keep in touch on Facebook and none of them said anything, so it's crazy. I haven't seen them probably for years.
2009 was when we all pretty much graduated. He wasn't just a teacher. He was definitely a mentor. He was definitely a father figure for a lot of the students here.
I was a music teacher. I was at South. And then it was in March, my first year there, a sophomore came up to me and said, we want to start a band. Can you help us? I was like, oh, sure, yeah. We didn't have any instruments. We played on trash cans. I scrounged around and just found whatever we could find, and it just took off. The culminating event was I had 50 kids. We were at the first time South High ever went to a state playoff game. We played in Parma, and we got a standing ovation from Parma crowd. It was just amazing.
He definitely brought it home for me. He's not just a music teacher. He's been there for me with college. He actually took me to college, and Central State University, I graduated, and had a full ride in band. In band! Who thought to get a full ride scholarship in band? Not me. Not me. But he taught me everything that I know as far as music and life. He's always thinking about us, and I just felt like it was great to think about him.
My little kids here, they were so into it, and they get to see the big kids from the past, that's a cool connection. They're going to be asking me, who are those people and how do you know them? And I'm going to say they were you. So it's just exciting. It's overwhelming, humbling. I know that I've impacted their life, but they don't know how they've impacted mine. I think they kind of saved it in a way because it was a rough time. And I knew that they were there for me, and it was just they were my kids, and they have no idea what they brought to my life.
Happy birthday, dear Joshua. Happy birthday to you.
Principal Scheibelhood said he's never speechless, but this surprise changed that. Several of those former students went to college, majored in music, received scholarships, and some are now even music educators following in their mentors' footsteps. For more stories like this, you can visit the CMSD News Bureau website at clevelandmetroschools.org/news. Reporting from the CMSD TV studio, I'm Shannon Kantner.
This week is part of our ongoing Possible You series, focusing on the various tools and resources available to you so you can better your education and your career. You'll learn how a summer camp is training teens to become certified welders.
This is not your typical summer camp.
In 2 weeks, we can train certified welders.
You are inside the local Workroom Program Alliance's Summer Welding Camp. More than just a way to pass the time through summer break.
So this is a stepping stone for them into to high-paying industrial jobs where they can earn a living and raise a family.
There's a massive need in this industry. One report from the American Welding Society says the workforce is at least 200,000 welders short. Enter programs like these. Take Dwayne. He says this is a huge improvement over last year.
The whole time just played basketball. This is a career. There's 450 dudes in the NBA. It's slim. This is a career. I like this.
And these future welders are dedicated. Take a look at Isaiah, leaving his house at 6 a.m. and takes 3 buses just to get here. In 2 weeks' time, they've gone from the ground floor to full certification.
They love it. They absolutely love it. And it's been such an experience to see them grow as individuals over the short time that we've had them and the desire that they now have for the world of work.
They ain't even dream of this. I want to think of it, nothing like it.
Possible You is brought to you in partnership with Ohio Means Jobs, the Cleveland Foundation, and WKYC Channel 3 News. Well, that's all for your TV20 news. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. Up next, we'll have Christian Patterson with the Inside Sports Report.